Hello crafty friends, and welcome to the second video in our Levelling Up Your Layout series. Today we are going to look at the rule of thirds again, but instead of putting our focal points on the intersections of the lines on our grid, we're going to put them in the middle of the horizontal lines. If you want to find out more about the rule of thirds and how to make the grid that we're going to use today, then check out the first video in this series. I'll leave a link up in the eye and in the video's description. So I've got my card blank, I've got my grid and my pretend focal point. So for the card that I'm making today, I've put it in the middle of the top horizontal line. I drew around very lightly in pencil my fake focal point, just so that when I removed the acetate I would know where I was aiming for with my focal point. The first thing I did was stamp some splatters in Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide. This is a nice light colour and lends itself very well to a delicate background. And then I took some pale gold metallic paint and spattered it over the purple stamped spatters for a bit of shimmer and shine and something a little bit different amongst the spatters. I set that aside to dry and then started work on my focal point itself. I stuck some white card onto some double-sided foam adhesive and then used 2 square dies to die cut from this. One of the square dies actually cuts a frame, but I didn't want the frame to separate from the square on the inside, so I kept those together. So I decided to colour the larger one, the one with the frame, with wilted violet. I just took a sponge dauber and covered it all over. The card I used is linen textured and it's got a bit of a coating on it, so it doesn't soak the ink in straight away. So it gave quite an interesting texture. I coloured the smaller of the squares, the one without the frame, with the Shaded Lilac, the colour that I'd used on the background. And then I placed the wilted violet square on at a bit of a jaunty angle right over the penciled circle. And then I added the Shaded Lilac square, adding it again at a jaunty angle but in the other direction. For my focal image, as it were, I die cut out a gold glitter heart and stuck that bang on my squares. I stamped Happy Birthday on a stitched rectangle using wilted violet, so it toned in with the colours already there. And I placed that centrally beneath my squares. And just to bring in a little bit more gold and shimmer and shine, I die cut out some teeny tiny hearts from the gold glitter cardstock and added those with a little bit of glue around and about the place. It just adds, again, that movement, that energy, that bounce. And that was the card finished. And as you can see, my focal point looks very happy there in the middle of that horizontal third line, a third down from the top. And it's left the bottom half of the card empty. So this would count as a clean and simple card because there's a significant portion of the card front that doesn't have anything on it. And that allows the focal point to really pop and stand out and do itself justice. Just like I did in the previous video, I'm going to show you a few more cards now that conform to this element of the rule of thirds, that have their focal point on the middle of a horizontal line. So here's the one I've just made alongside a sketch, the sketch I based it off of. And here's another one. This time I put the focal point in the middle of the bottom horizontal line. And as I did last week, I've put all the sketches in today's video in a handout for you, which you can download from the video description. This is a landscape card. It's turned through 90 degrees. And again, you can see I've put the focal point, the sentiment and the banner in the middle of the horizontal top line. And the last card for today is a square card, and the focal point is the sentiment. It sits in the middle of that bottom horizontal line, and it's made to stand out from the background simply by having a white frame around it. And this rule of thirds business doesn't just apply to clean and simple cards. It can apply to all cards, even ones that are really busy. You can have a completely busy patterned paper or mixed media background, but you can still put your focal point, even if it's just a sentiment, on the grid somewhere that works. Right, I hope you've enjoyed today's video and it's given you another tool in your design making kit. If it has, please let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.